This afternoon we are with Mr. Morrison, who's running for re-election as Mayor of San Angelo. We have three panelists with us today. We have Sarah Hardwick, a former art teacher, now full-time homemaker. We have Jack Plott, who has been with public schools for 26 years, 10 years here in San Angelo, 16 years with the Department of Defense, currently at ASU in the kinesiology department. And Bob Dillon, a retired railroad signal construction supervisor. Sarah, will you lead us off, please?
Okay. Why are you running for the city council?
I'm running for mayor. Why am I running for mayor? Because it's the best job I've ever had. I have been mayor for 2 years and I have very much enjoyed it. I have started some things that I want to see through, so I will 2 more years.
What is your agenda as a member of the city council?
My agenda as mayor is to continue the priorities that we have established as a city council. We established 5 priorities early in 2014. We have made great strides on all 5 of these priorities, and we're not through. We have priorities that we need to fulfill with our water and our streets and our police department and our permit and planning department and our payroll for our employees. We have made progress, but we have not made enough.
In your opinion, what are the 3 biggest problems that need to be corrected?
The first 3 priorities that we have established in 2014 as a council and also with our city staff. Number 1 being a good, safe, dependable water supply for the citizens of our area. Number 2 being reconstructing and maintenance of the streets in our city that are deteriorating faster than they should be. And I suppose 3rd would be the police station that hopefully we have already made some serious progress with.
Okay. What is your philosophy of government?
We have in San Angelo a home rule form of government in which the city council operates as a board that decides policy. We have a city manager, which is a professional employee that we hire. We expect the city manager to take care of the day-to-day business of the government. And as city council, we make the rules, we make the laws, and then we expect him to carry them out. As far as the philosophy, we have a responsibility to our citizens to tax them fairly and to wisely use this tax money for the betterment of the community, to be fiscally responsible, and to be there when the citizens have a question.
Okay. How do San Angelo's ad valorem taxes compare with other Texas cities?
They are high. They are high. We do not have the commercial activities in San Angelo that they have in the cities of Abilene, Odessa, and Midland, and as a result, we are higher on our taxes than these communities that have more commercial activity. Through our COSA-DC, we have attempted to bring more commercial activity into our city. We have also reduced the property tax rate 10 cents in the last, since 2006. So we have been reducing property taxes, but we are still higher than our sister cities because we are a city of more residents, more retirees, and we do not have the commercial activity that the other cities around us have.
Okay. What do you think about the recent developments in San Angelo's budgetary process?
I think that our budgetary process probably went smoother this last year than any budget I have ever been associated with. I give the credit to that to our city manager, who has put together a very good package. He has put together a very responsible package. Is working in partnership with the city council and the city manager's office. We have been able to prioritize, to set plans, and then we've been able to work our plans, and the budget has worked very well with the plans that we have.
Just a little follow-up to that. I think they got the 12% influx of funds recently because of the oil and gas. And then my understanding is, please correct me if I'm wrong, that in planning the new budget, they included that 12% increase for future years. Is that correct?
They did use a figure when they established the budget, but realizing that this oil is something that may not last.
Right.
There was they did establish guidelines where if the money comes in, they would be able to use it. But if the money did not come in, that there are things that could be adjusted. So realizing that the money was there at the time we did our last budget that took effect October 1, we were still doing very well. This has since slowed down, and as a result, there are provisions in our budget that we can reduce according to the income that we receive.
What would be some examples of, let's say it goes south and you're going to have to reduce some of your expenditures, what areas would that?
And that is, as I say, that is something that the city manager is in charge of, and that is something that I would have to rely on the city management to determine. And then city council, when it is brought to city council, we will discuss and we will approve or disapprove.
Okay.
Or amend.
And my last question is, what kind of job is the city staff doing? I would just say in general, because there's so many people part of that. What kind of job are the cities?
I would say that our city staff is doing a very good job. I've been associated with city government for 12 years, and I believe that we have probably got the best staff that we have ever had. They are dedicated, they are working hard, and I continue to speak about our plans, but you've got to have a plan in place before you can work your plan. And Mr. Valenzuela is a planner. He is doing a lot of training. He has worked on morale. He is doing a lot of different things in our city hall with his directors, and that their directors take it down. But he is a planner that is building plans that we are finding are very reasonable, and we're able to work with them. And that's we've been successful with it.
Okay, thank you.
Currently, only the city managers can fire supervisors. Should in your case, the mayor be able to fire an employee?
No, that's not my duty at all. That is, we are strictly a policy board. The city manager is the one that is in charge of the personnel and the operation of the city.
Have you ever fired anyone? Or are you willing to fire a city employee?
The only person we have the authority to fire as a city council is the city manager and the municipal judge. And the only way we can fire them is by 4 members of our city council voting to fire him. So that is, those are the only 2 people that the city council control. The city manager controls all of the rest of the employees of our city.
Should a key city employees be given 1-year contracts at will like school teachers?
I can't see any pros to it. I can't see any cons to it. We don't do that now. I really don't see any reason to change a system that appears to be working.
Are you in favor of the fire and police department personnel being paid a fair wage based on the city's comparable size that are being paid? Explain and why.
I feel that we must pay our public employees, be it fire, be it police, be it road, be it public works, be it that man that's in the ditch up to his waist in water, repairing a broken water line or a sewer line. I feel that all of our employees ought to be paid and ought to be paid a livable wage. And we took steps to help that this last budget cycle. The budget cycle before, we gave raises to those that were on the bottom, the minimum employees, and tried to get them up to a level where they were not so deep in poverty so that they had to work 2 or 3 jobs. In our last budget cycle, we gave a 5% raise to all of our employees, and we also gave our policemen a raise because our policemen are under a different pay guide than the rest of our employees. So yes, I think it's very important that we pay our policemen. I think it's important that we pay our firemen and our EMTs, but I think it's also important that we pay those men and women that work in our offices, that take care of our streets, and that get our water and sewer.
Thank you.
Okay. Over the years, we've all seen elected officials at all levels of government who seem to bask in their celebrity status and tend to forget who elected them and who they are representing. What strategies will you put into place, or maybe have you put into place, so that citizens feel that you are actually listening to them and that you really care about their input?
When I ran in 2013, my slogan was God first, neighbor second, and self last. I also promised the people that if they would vote for me, that I would be seen in this community, that I would be the face and I would be the voice of San Angelo, Texas. And here to date, in just less than 2 years, I have already made about 1,450 appearances in this city for different functions and conventions. I was at a prayer breakfast or a prayer luncheon today at Goodfellow, and I was able to lead the prayer for the nation. I am shooting for 1,600 events by the time the 2 years of my mayoral duties are up. I feel that if I am in the community, if I am seen in the community, if I am known in the community, if I can be the face and the voice of this community, then I feel that I have done the job that I have been given to do. Because the mayor is a $50 a month job. It is not a job to run the city. It is a job to be out amongst the people and to represent the citizens. And the only way I can do it is to be with the citizens so that they know me and they are comfortable with me.
So if a citizen comes to you at one of these events or through email or whatever with a problem, how do you take that?
I've already taken 2 calls this day
Okay.
from people that had problems and needed my assistance. On the city webpage, I have both my city telephone number, cell phone number, and my personal cell phone number, which I carry with me at all times. I have my city email address. I also have my personal email address. My name is in the book, my address is in the phone book, and my telephone number is in the phone book.
So they can get over
I have tried to make myself as accessible as I could possibly make myself. And I've taken calls early in the morning. I've taken them at 4 o'clock in the morning from early in the morning until late at night from people that needed some help from the mayor, and I'll continue to do so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The last question, do you know what the total debt of the city is, and how do you plan on eliminating this debt?
I'd have to do a little figuring to determine our biggest debt in the city is the $120 million that we borrowed for the Hickory water supply, and we did this in 2008. Got a very low interest loan from the state of Texas, and I'm guessing, but if I remember correctly, it was down less than 0.5%. We also borrowed in 2000, I know that they borrowed $20 million to replace the 2-inch water lines. In 2006, we borrowed $19 million to replace the sewer lines. We also decided in 2006 to replace the valves in our water system, but we're doing that with in-house money. We also have a revolving amount of money that we borrow every, I'm trying to say 3 years is when we redo it. Our debt ratio to our income ratio is very low. And because it is very low, we recently, just a couple of months ago, received just about the highest credit rating that any city, any community, anywhere is able to receive. And because of our stellar credit rating, we were able to refinance. We did this last month. We were able to refinance the debt that we had at a lower interest rate, which now saves us some $82,000 per month in interest. We have a very conservative city government. We have a very conservative city council. We are very fiscally responsible, and because of our conservative nature and our fiscal responsibility, San Angelo has one of the highest credit ratings of anywhere.
Thank you very much. We do appreciate it.